hold on. I started it up. I'm just gonna send the link out. Join the booth. Um, nah, it's live right now. I'm just putting out the link real fast. Um, um, all right. Finna hang up, bruh. So welcome guys to what's the first edition of many more to come. We're calling this right now, this is the beta version of it, but we're calling it Biggie and AL3 Speaks podcast, you feel me? And oh, hello? Wait, my bad, I'm trying to speak to, okay, there we go. But yeah, this is the first edition of many more to come. And yeah, basically there's somebody I'd like you to meet, because he's waiting patiently right here. Let me just flip the display so you can see. There you go, right there. I'm popping out right now. Hi, Papa. There you go.
I'm about to go crazy, gang.
Oh, but yeah, this is Biggie, Bryce Shizzle, as some people call him. Or you can go ahead and introduce yourself, Bryshawn, since this is like the first time people gonna hear your voice. You feel me?
Most people that's gonna watch this don't know me. My name is Bryshawn. Call me Biggie, Discord Bryce Shizzle, you know. But when we're about to go up, we're about to get some talking points done. You feel me? Great conversations. Get it out the way. Let y'all into a great mind. My nigga AL3s today.
So, if you want to start off talking about the playoffs right now in the NBA?
Yeah, it's a couple of talking points, but you know, like, if you're gonna ask me where I want to start, always want to start with the Knicks, just to start cool. But like, I feel like we want to start with the general basis. So, what people want to hear, I feel like most people want to hear about the Lakers, as so you yourself probably want to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you lead with the little LeBron meat ride.
All right. As you should. So, there's currently 1, 2, 3 games that are already, or 3 series, I should say, that are already over with. We're waiting for the Golden State, Sacramento, and the Memphis Lakers series. Okay. Our Lakers, they ain't really been doing too good. We've been hooping, but it all comes down to the same thing every year. How much can AD put up with? And honestly, man, I really like him as a person, his character. I love his character, but when it comes to the player AD, like, he's not the same player he once was, like, in 2016. Like, he's not that same guy. Like, there's glimpses of it. He'll go crazy one night, but it's just too inconsistent. And when you have somebody on your team like the GOAT, LeBron James. You feel me? Uh, who's consistently performing at a, pretty well. I'd say, especially for his age, because mind you, he's 38, putting up double-digit points and rebounds and points and assists every other night. That's not something to just take lightly. But we'll see if they can finish it out. I hope they can finish it out. But it all comes down to if the Memphis Grizzlies are really going to prove themselves too, because this is the time where the Memphis Grizzlies can prove that they're actually a competitor and a contender for the finals. But we'll just have to wait and see. What's your thoughts on that whole the Lakers Memphis series?
It just all depends on what you're based off of.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to keep it like, because if you look at their averages, you can like,
Hold on, wait. We're losing you. Biggie? Hello? Don't worry, technical difficulties. Hello?
technical difficulties. Don't mind us.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
We're getting together. It's our first time. Come on, man. We're not. But like, if you look at their averages, like they're playing. AD's healthy this year, and like, it's rare, but he's healthy in the playoffs, which is what kind of matters, And you look at their averages. They're both. His average is 21. They're both averaging 8 on the boards. They're both still like I'd say like if we're really like talking about the Lakers' chances of winning the title, the championship, this is probably their best year in terms to do more than 80 playing at an equivalent rate and getting shit done together with a little bit of help. But this is all depending on Grizzlies are a great team. And like I have nothing bad to say about the Grizzlies, but I'm also not gonna say it's a whole different tempo. You play the Grizzlies in the next round. There's a lot to our way, and it's kinda like you may have to work a little harder. Some of your players are injury prone. So it's like we'll see. It's healthy. I think they have a good shot. But in the series is pretty good.
Wait, hold on.
You know what I mean? Out. You having technical difficulties again?
Yeah, slightly. I'm sending you texts. Basically, though, I'd have to. I low-key co-sign everything you say, man, because I really believe that it's their best shot to get a chip this year. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I feel like this is their best shot to get a championship with LeBron. Basically, like, I don't think he's, getting any younger, and I don't want to see LeBron, push himself any harder than he has to in year 40, so he needs to, what's it called? He needs to get it before he turns 40, bro. He has two years max, I'd say, of maybe he's playing at a 25, 10 and 5 level. You feel me? But who knows? We'll have to see, because it's a long season, and mind you, he's getting old, and he does say he puts a lot of work in his body, and the amount of money LeBron spends on his body is absolutely insane compared to other athletes. So if anybody can do it, it's that guy. So we'll see.
I mean, he's quarters. Like at the end of the day, I think he's gonna play till his son. I think he's gonna play till his son literally comes into the league
Hmm.
because he can go play somewhere as a role player or six man and still hoop. He's playing heavy starter minutes at the age he's at already.
Honestly, I see his son going at 1 year to either the G League or college. I feel like he's gonna most likely go to college, just because like the type of kid I feel like he is, and what experience he wants. Because at the end of the day, LeBron has voiced it that it's all about his son. He's not just strictly like a what's it called. I mean, mind you, he knows he's gonna hoop, but he knows that his son's gonna have other passions, or like he has a different route to get to hooping. So like, I hope he just sticks to hooping. He doesn't really need to go to college. He could if he wants to though. That door's open for him, but he can go straight to the G League, play for like a.
But he probably wants to have fun. Like
That's what I'm
I could
saying.
see a player wanting to have another year being that guy at the school and you know having the attention and probably go to Ohio State.
Oh yeah,
So
because LeBron never went to college, so it'd be a different route for sure. For sure. LeBron said he wanted to play with his sons, so you know he trying to play.
speaking
Go ahead.
speaking of his sons, let's talk about the sons.
Oh, okay.
Speaking
They
of his
just
sons, let's talk about the sons.
they just swept the floor with what was left of Kawhi Leonard's meniscus. I'm sorry for that statement, but I'm just saying like it is what it is. He was
I,
he's playing too
I
hard.
tell people that's spaghetti noodle.
Hey man, literally, he was playing too hard. He pushed himself past his limits, and that's what it cost him. And now the
His
fact,
meniscus was good for carrying a team to one title.
man, and I don't know what's next for the Clippers, to be honest, because they have to. They're not necessarily. They can't rebuild. They spent a lot of
They
money.
can.
I mean, they can, but they spent a lot of money on these players they have right now. So basically, if they rebuild, it's like fuck their plan that they drew up for the last 6 years.
Well, yeah, but Kawhi Leonard's plan. Kawhi Leonard's meniscus kind of said fuck their plan. Kawhi Leonard's body said fuck their plan. Paul George's too, and it's like you can still. They still value. They still are players of value that you can move and still pick up pieces if you wanted to rebuild, or
Mm-hmm.
you can just wait, hope that 1 year you have a miracle, you stay healthy. Maybe
Do you think they actually leave LA though?
depends on what they want their market to be.
True.
Like at the end of the day, like they built a certain fan base in LA, but like they can move to a team to a city with a basketball team and have a bigger fan base. But it's like at the same time, LeBron's not gonna be around forever, and it's like LeBron might not even be a Laker for the rest of his career. There's no, or there's so many athletes that it's like they just they kind of were LA's team for a minute, like in a sense for LeBron. So it just all depends on
Mm-hmm.
if they want to take this market or go find another one. But I don't know why, because I would assume that you save money sharing arenas and shit like that.
Mm, I would think so too. Honestly, never really thought about it before now.
That's what I'm saying. Like Or like I would assume that you're not like paying as much fees, because I'm assuming that you like I know that it's not the same thing as like smoking weed, it's like being in a relationship, but I'm assuming if y'all share an arena, which is like a home, y'all probably go like 50-50 on concessions and stuff like that. That would be my that would be what I would feel is logical.
Feeling of I mean, speaking of logical, man. Let's get real logical, man. What do you think is gonna go on between Miami and New York second round? What do you got? What's your how many games and who do you have winning?
I think he goes to 7.
The Knicks.
I have a really hard time. I have a really hard time, like saying Jimmy Butler's gonna lose. Like he is a dog,
Yeah,
a literal dog.
he's very
Like
different.
he just decimated the number one seed, you know, and it's like it would be really hard for me to come in and be like, oh yeah, like
I just
this
wanted to
dude
put out
stopped
there.
Giannis.
I just wanted to put out there. Giannis was only there for a game and 13 minutes
Look,
of
but
that
look.
series.
At the end of the day,
He still had a chance to get
look,
out there. I already know.
you feel me? He put him up. He got him up out of there. Giannis is
I
going to
already
nurse his
know.
injury in Cancun.
I'm already
You feel
know.
me? He's going nurse his injury in Cabo. You feel me? So it's like Jimmy Butler's still playing, and it's not like this is a first time thing. Jimmy Butler always hoops in the playoffs. Like when it
Nah,
comes to playoff time, that nigga's gonna hoop.
he's been
Like
hooping.
if you play parlays, if you bet or anything, put your money on Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. He's gonna hoop. It's a guarantee. You feel me? So it's like, but the Knicks, yeah, Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 7.
Knicks in 7. With all that being said about Jimmy Butler, Knicks in 7. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Knicks in 7.
I'd have to take Miami in 7. If Jimmy Butler,
That really kind of felt like a fuck you. You feel
nah,
me? That really kind of felt like a fuck you.
nah, it wasn't, it wasn't a fuck you. It's just, I'm saying it like this: if Jimmy Butler can hoop, right, the same way he's been hooping, and let's say these other pieces on Miami start, playing top tier. Hey, I don't know, man, cause
He played good defense.
hey, he plays with intensity. That's the thing, and you need
But
that.
Jimmy Butler is about the only person consistent in the playoffs on that team.
Hey, shout out, DJ in the chat. DJ even said Miami 2 game.
Look, DJ, I understand, and you're a hooper, so I respect your opinion. I definitely respect it, you feel me? But Nick and 7. We too much for them to handle, I'm telling you.
I respect that.
I'm telling you. We too much for them to handle.
I
Look,
respect
we
that.
beat a healthy Cleveland. We're too much for them to handle. Did you see what we did to Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I seen what Spider Man. He was nowhere to be found, bro.
Spider-Man. What? We made that nigga look like Crying Man.
Man. Okay, what's up with Philadelphia and Boston? Who you got in that series?
Well, you're crazy if you think Philadelphia's beating Boston. Do you know who Boston is? Boston is like that.
Oh, I know. They've been like
Boston's
that.
like that.
They've been like that
You're
since
crazy.
2018.
Philadelphia is like that too. They got Maxey, they got Embiid, they got hoopers, but like Tatum, Brown, Smart.
Boston in 6.
Boston is 6.
Yeah, I can see Philadelphia taking 2 at home.
At home.
Yeah.
I can see Boston probably losing a game.
Harden gonna go off and Embiid. DJ said Harden and Embiid gonna go off. I don't know about Harden and Embiid going crazy, like, cause here's my
First of all, Harden is not gonna do shit. Let me just throw that out there.
bro. Harden, he can ball in the regular season, but when he plays against real comp, like and on Boston they got real comp, like he gonna get exposed a little bit. They gonna try to let him do his work and find out that someone's really playing defense in front of him. You're not going to make him on House of Highlights, bro. Yeah, I see Boston taking it in 6 though, because I can see Philadelphia like sneaking 2 wins. And by that I mean like those games that they won could have went to Boston, but they just won them by like 5 or less points.
So like Boston defense just too much for Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Boston plays great defense. It's one of those teams that plays great defense. Defense wins championships. You feel me? Offense just looks nice.
Always.
Boston in like 5.
All right, what do we have for Denver and Phoenix?
Phoenix in 4.
Phoenix in 4?
Yeah. Denver.
Is Nikola Jokic hurt or something?
No, it's not even that. It's just.
Hold on.
Who did they play in the first round?
The Timberwolves? Why are we acting like the Timberwolves were just...
The Timberwolves are ass.
Isn't Karl Anthony Towns in the Timberwolves? What are we talking about?
Okay.
He's not...
So not only are we going to act like the Timberwolves are good, the first player we're going to bring up is Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay, my fault, gang. Anthony Edwards is on... Oh, bro. Look, and he was hooping too. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He was the only nigga who...
Well, see, I didn't pay too much attention to that series. I'm not gonna lie.
He was the only nigga hooping. What do you mean? He was the only nigga hooping, bruh. That shit was not that hard.
Hey.
Denver was supposed to get them out of there.
Okay, so you're gonna hold Denver for that? They're the number 1 seed. They're supposed to get the worst team.
Did you just... Phoenix. D-Bud. KD. KD.
CP3.
KD.
Okay. Let's go to Denver.
Ayton. What, bro? Phoenix is about to get them niggas work. Who's Denver beat in the playoffs? What gives you this confidence in Denver? What is Denver done in the playoffs?
It's not even like what they done in the playoffs. It's just literally who they have on their team, bruh.
Phoenix is the defending champs, and they only got better.
Hey.
Defending Western Conference champs, and only got better.
It's gonna be a good series. I can see. I don't know if they. I don't know, bruh. I want to say. I go to Denver. I might have to take Denver on the series, but at the same time, I don't know. It's going to 7. It's going to 7.
I'm just so glad that this is gonna be for the world to see. Like, this nigga thinks Denver is about to win this series.
Hey, man. You gotta have it. You gotta have some faith, man.
Crazy people in the world. Yeah, we do have to have that balance.
No,
man, look. We didn't talk about the playoffs, but what we need to talk about is an African American black man being the highest paid player ever in the NFL.
Okay, some LJ, man. And you know who did all that agent work for him? His mom. Him and his mom. So she gets his agent monies.
Yeah, I critique Lamar Jackson's play on the field sometimes. So at the end of the day, he's a baller. He deserves every dollar of that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It's good. It's good to see somebody. It's good to see black like African American males, you feel me, dominating the financial bracket in the NFL. Like we got Patrick Mahomes making like a half a bill ticket. We got
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts getting a bag, Lamar Jackson getting a bag. It's just good to see. You feel me? Have some people like come in with some higher influence. They step on that field. They be like, hey, I could get 400 million in a contract if I just stay focused and ball out. Keep more people focused. Now, do
Uh,
I feel that Zay Flowers is going to come in and just ball in their lineup with their draft pick last night? So they taking the first round. Um, yeah. So they paid Lamar Jackson and then just gave him a weapon.
Not only that, they let him say, "Oh, you want your boy OBJ?" Like, okay, and just signed OBJ as well. Like, I
I do really want to speak on the draft last night.
something that surprised me. I did not see Bryce Young going number one. I thought he was gonna go number two. Promise. I didn't expect Anthony Richardson to fall so low, bro. I thought he was going number one. I'm not gonna hold you.
I've been saying this. Anybody who talks to me knows I've been saying this for the last couple months. Bryce Young was going one, correct? He,
Yeah.
he's explosive. He makes a lot of plays. Generally stayed healthy, and he won in college. What else do you need? You know, he won a lot. He played under Saban.
Mm-hmm.
Discipline. He's a playmaker. You feel me? He's Tua, but not as fragile. And Tua's a baller. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
I knew he was going one. Do I feel like there's better quarterbacks than him? Nah. CJ Stroud's not better than him. Anthony Richardson's not better than him. Anthony Richardson can be super good. But you know what Anthony Richardson reminds me of? An undeveloped Cam Newton. He's like Cam Newton if Cam Newton wasn't as good at Auburn. That's what Anthony Richardson reminds me of. You feel me? Like an underdeveloped Cam Newton. And then he's coming into a place like Indianapolis where it's like, I don't know. The culture is kind of different there. So we'll see what they do with him. But that's tough. The AFC South, good defenses, bad offenses. That's gonna be tough
What I'm
for
annoyed
Anthony
about
Richardson.
is how the Patriots have so many picks late in the draft. Like, if you pay attention, the fourth round, they dominate that fourth round with some picks. Like, it goes Bears, Texans, Colts, then the Patriots, right? Then you wait like five more, six more, then it's Patriots again. Wait two more, then it's Patriots again. Feel me? And you keep scrolling down, and before the draft ends, guess who picks again? The Patriots. Like, and somehow, they're always finding these little uncut gems, and they always work with them, and they end up balling. Like, I don't understand why no other team is able to copy that formula, or like, like, cause I feel like there's so much talent. You get me? You go that deep into the draft, like, there's so many people out there. I feel like that can be the best. Can be Hall of Fame caliber. Just given a shot. So I don't really like that notion of like, if you're drafted like fourth or seventh round, or even undrafted, like, you're shit or something. You feel me? It's just you didn't have the same shot somebody else had.
What's your most surprising first round pick last night? Like,
Ooh, most
what pick
surprising.
really shocked you?
Let me see.
Because I'm gonna go. If I personally have to pick one, I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson, going 8 to the Falcons, which I felt like was a great pick.
What I was most surprised about was y'all pick with Emmanuel Forbes.
Baller.
I did not expect. I was hoping he was gonna fall. But I saw y'all pick him up, and Then the Patriots picked up a dude, Christian Gonzalez. He was looking pretty solid too, but y'all got the best corner.
Christian Gonzalez fell.
Yes,
Where did he get picked at?
the next pick right after. Literally, he was the next base.
Mm.
Yes. So
Well, I do feel like we got the best DP in the draft. Now, listen, hear me out. Would I rather have had Christian Gonzalez? Yes. And this is why, right? But no, actually, I take that back. I'm glad we picked Emmanuel Forbes, and this is why. You know, Christian Gonzalez, he's a better athlete. Like, when we're talking about just freak athleticism, he's a freak athlete. And it's like, we have Kendall Fuller on the other side, and he's kind of like an all-around corner, athletic, IQ, been in the league for a minute. But there's no guarantee he gets a contract next season, you know? So I think Emmanuel Forbes is a better fit to be our number one corner, you know? Like, right now.
yeah.
He can come in this season and be the number one corner, the starting corner, and probably make a Pro Bowl. Like, he's that nice. I was watching his film last night.
Nah, yeah,
He's that nice.
He got Sauce Gardner attributes. If I had to compare
Like,
him to somebody.
He has soft hips. He's smart. He's in a tool bag. Like, oh, yeah. You know, you really like everything you see when you play. Good closeout speed. He doesn't look like he's scared to tackle, you know? So it's like, and he played in the SEC. I love anybody who played in the SEC.
Mm. It's one of the most physical conferences in college football.
Yeah, just come with a different type of grittiness out of the SEC. Like, man, you're banging heads all year in that conference when you're playing against them. You're banging heads. You can be playing the weakest team in that conference. You're still fucking banging heads. You know, because just everybody in there is big and gritty.
What DJ say he's getting his surgery next week? He'll finally be done with your knee. So DJ gonna be hooping? Is that what I'm hearing? Shit.
Getting dropped off.
Hey, well, let me find out. We gotta hop back on the court, bruh.
Look, LD, you're not even ready for me. You're too young, man.
Man, you what? I swear, last time who won between us last time, bro? I don't even remember who won, bro.
I think we won 1-on-1. We haven't won 1-on-1 since that one time when we was about to fight in high school.
No, we were playing like 21, and then Jeffrey just.
I think we didn't finish that game, but I think you were winning. But that game, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't really playing. I had jeans on, you feel me? My shoes was tight.
I'm ready now.
Catch me on the court, in some comfortable gear. We really have to see what's going on.
Hey man.
DJ could see me too, man.
Hey, on me, DJ, I don't be on the court all too often, but when I get back on there, I just dribble around for a minute and get my rhythm. Oh yeah, I'm back in my bag. Not only that, bro, I be having a little shot, but enough about me. You know, I could stroke myself later.
Wow.
Let's,
Wow.
let's get on to the next topic. So, what do you think of the fight that just happened between Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis?
I think Tank treated Ryan like he was his daddy.
Whoa.
I personally think Tank treated Ryan like he was his daddy.
Hey yo.
You know how niggas get into a fight, right? Everybody's seen this. You know how niggas get into a fight, and the niggas beating a nigga up, boop bap, boop bap, boop bap, and the nigga's like, I'm good, and the nigga beating him up is like, nah, you not good, boop bap, boop bap. You feel? That's what happened.
Hey, I'll promise you, bro. If he would have got up, bro, if he didn't take that knee, nigga, Tank was about to put that boy to sleep, bro. He was gonna go night-night. He didn't want to go night-night. That's why he took that knee. He said, yeah, bro, no, bro, please, bro. The hoes, bro, they're not gonna fuck with me, bro, please.
All I know is he socked him in his liver and his nose started bleeding. What the fuck? How hard you get?
Yeah, that's really that's internal bleeding, bro.
He
Yeah,
socked him in the body and his nose started bleeding. What the fuck?
don't even make no sense.
And then like Tank told him to get up, like he was his daddy. And he like, nah, man, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man.
Literally say, "Yep, I don't want no more."
Keep in mind, at that point, his purse was on the line. Tank hadn't said like, oh, he could keep his purse. So at that point, all that money for that fight was on the line, and he still was like, nah, very late, you can keep it.
Yeah, I feel like there was never gonna be on some whole shit. Keep the whole purse. I feel like even if Ryan won,
Yeah, that's why they don't need somebody like me boxing.
oh
Cause
god,
you bet me your whole purse, I'm for sure keeping it. I am for surely keeping it. Do you know how much a nigga's purse be? Like they probably both had multi-million-dollar purses.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I for sure would have kept his shit. I don't care. We're not friends. He'll get another fight and get. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because Tank let him keep it. But he'll get another fight where he'll make money. Like the nigga's not rich, I'd have kept it. The nigga's not broke, I'd have kept his shit. He's rich.
I wonder how much he really made. I know Tank made like upwards 11 million on that fight, or I think 14, some shit like that. Honestly,
But really, the bigger conversation is how do you think this affects the power fluctuation of the lightweight division? Just the smaller fighters.
no, for sure, Tank is in charge. He's the big dog. I don't see anybody really stepping up to Tank right now. Tank can rest.
But who? All right, but look, that's the thing about the fighters we're talking about here, right? Because we have Lomachenko, Lopez, um, you got Shakur Stevenson, Haney, Cambosis. All these are like possible fights or like fights that he can make happen if he really wanted to. You know? So do you like all right, after you beat a name like Garcia, right? And then it's like you guys have this long standing rivalry. What is the next step? Do you take tune-up fights and then start another rivalry like you did? Or do you start just chopping niggas down and unify the belt?
I mean, I feel like the rivalry storyline would milk more money. You feel me? Shout out Bills Mafia. Shout out Bills Mafia. Um, but yeah, I feel like if he were to start another rivalry, it'd be better for him rather than like trying to move out of like and try to, you feel me, grab at the belts. Cause where he's at right now, bro, 135, bro, that's like perfect. Like he's at the perfect weight to fight for himself. I feel like he can probably go up like maybe 5 more pounds, maybe 7.
If Tank fights that nigga from Japan, he's gonna get his ass knocked out.
If he talks,
That's all I'm saying.
if he fights who?
If he fights a Naue from Japan, that nigga Naue might knock the shit out of his ass.
Naue
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
from Japan.
Yes, that boy has hands.
I'm trying to see what this boy about. How do you even spell Naue, bro? I've never heard of, bro. Who is Naue from Japan, bro? This Asian nigga that's gonna destroy the American.
About business. Yeah, I think he spelled it like INA. some I don't know you gotta find it, but he's about that business. He got highlights.
Oh yeah, we gonna check them highlights out later, for sure, for sure. Oh, I can't pull it up right now. We'll have to see, what fights he ends up making and stuff. But I don't know. As far as what's best for Tank, I feel like he just needs to make it another rivalry. You feel me? Really milk this whole shit while he can.
Let's look at it as the Biggie man. So there will be rivalries for him. But enough about sports. You know, it's real life shit, man. Let's talk about life, man.
What you want to talk about, man? We got a lot to dive into.
I'm gonna actually let you go ahead and lead us into the next topic. Tell me what we're about to talk about, man. Tell me what's going on in life, man. What's good?
I got you. So, let's talk about dating as a bachelor, right? Because most of the time,
Mm.
well, most of my people's watching is single. For me, except the one person in here who married. But besides that, most of my people's is single. So like, I wanted to start this this question, right?
Um,
What what's what's the thing that like y'all or okay, so I'm mainly talking to you right now, but also talking to chat too. What's the thing that y'all look for in like every female that you talk to that like draws you to a certain female? Like for me it'd be like if a girl can like conversate with me real well and like we talking about like actual shit and like she's retaining all my information, it's like really easy for me to like mesh with you. You get me? So like, what would you say would be some things that like you mesh with girls real well?
well, I really like messed with one woman in my entire life, and that's like the mother of my children.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that was kind of easy is because I kind of understood each other, and it's like I'm one of those people where it's like I'm hard to understand but easily misunderstood. You feel me? So like, always have been tensions, and I really don't want to get like be on people's bad side. I generally want to get along with everybody, but like I know that I'm just not a person that's like for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I did turn out to be a person that was kind of for her, and our personalities kind of clicked. You feel me? So I mean, that's most of what I look for is this. If I could get along with you, because I'm very hard to get along with, like on a day-to-day basis. We're not just talking about like if you come in dating thinking a female's temporary, then okay. But like we're talking about like, oh, you want to date and you're looking for like somebody long term. It's about how you're gonna get along with them from a day-to-day basis too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's a lot of things that make me like not like a female. I run into things that make me not like females way more than things that I'd be like, oh, that's cool about a female. If that makes sense.
I understand you. I basically I understood you from off rip. You feel me? You just feel like you have a certain person, a certain like like because you're unique in your own way. And like when you said day to day, like I'm already knowing because feel me, I've experienced you day to day. So like it takes somebody who truly is like genuine and wants to like you know be with you to like put up with like the ups and the downs. You feel me? The mountains and the valleys.
Yeah. So that's really one of the biggest things for me. But if we're talking about like things that turn me off a female, there's way more conversation than that because there's way more Like I we're running into that way more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like literally in this past year being single, I don't date. You know, like one is just really hard to date because I don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, like dating just takes a lot of effort, logic, and stuff that I don't feel like putting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I already found a certain connection with a person, I'd rather pursue that than like go build another connection with a random person. You know, but there's already a foundation here. Just have to build on top of it correctly. You know, so like, but I run into things that is like just shockingly retarded with women, and that's why I don't date in the past year. Term in the past year, and I think that the biggest thing, and you can probably relate to this too, is like being my biggest thing is being smarter than the you know than the opposite gender that we're talking about. That's always my biggest thing is being smarter and like more knowledgeable, and that shit bothers me because I hate over explaining everything. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like if I'm watching a YouTube video and you ask me what I'm watching, I tell you like, and I'm usually watching something. If it's not music, I'm watching something that's like I think it's like talking, like a podcast, like what we're doing. It's like he's like, oh, something about this bill getting passed or something about the president or something. I don't want to have to tell you. Then you ask me a follow up question. Then I have to explain this. Then you ask me a follow up question. Then I have to explain this because you're ignorant.
Yeah.
And you know that's not a knock to that person. It's just not what I want to do. I don't want to have to teach you. I want to grow with somebody. I don't want to have to bring you to where I'm at and then go.
That goes into what I was saying too. Like what I be looking at for like females that like gets me attracted to them is when like I talk to them and you feel me. I'm talking about some real smart shit and like feel me. Shawty got some good smart shit to feed back to me. Cause sometimes people just gonna like absorb your energy but not put out energy and like that's very draining, especially for me because I'm an introvert. So like I'm not really like I don't get my energy from like other people. I store my own energy and I keep my own energy, you know? Like so when I'm giving it to other people, like certain people are used to just getting energy from certain people, you know? Like extroverts, they're used to just being out just oh talking to this person, this person, this person, this person. You know, people like me and I'm pretty sure you can attest to certain some of these things is like I'm more comfortable being in my own space, talking to, you know, certain people, protecting my peace and my energy because not everybody values you the same way that, you know, you value them. Or like, you know, you might speak of a
Only
certain
that,
you might speak of
but go ahead, finish.
you might speak on a certain subject and like you're trying to get your point across and you're trying to get them to come to a level of understanding, but it would just never be like that. And I feel like that is one of the most frustrating feelings in like I don't like I feel like almost anybody can experience just when you can't get someone to understand your point or like not even your point but the point like the clear obvious just plain simple you feel me right in front of you and sometimes
Exactly.
that's that should just be like that I'll get more into that on a later in the podcast, but
It's not only that. It's just like not only people aren't gonna value you like you value them. People aren't gonna value you like you value yourself. You feel me? So I'm gonna value a person how I want to be valued, right?
mm,
And I consider myself a high commodity. I want to be treated like a human. I want to be appreciated, cared about. You know, the base things of what you're gonna want out of the person you call your companion. You know, and most people don't value themselves, so how can they value you? You
mm,
know, so it's like you want them to so it's like most it's just an understanding of life that a lot of people get to in certain points in their life, you know. So it just all depends, or it's a hit and miss. That's why I say like really dating is a hit and miss.
Hmm.
Like I prefer not to date because I miss a lot. I do, like you said, I'm introverted, bro. I don't want to. I don't really want to talk to people. I like to protect my peace, my synergy. You feel
Hmm.
me? My faith, like, and if you kind of disrupting that, like, getting me irritable and stuff like that, I'm not really trying to be around you. And a lot of things irritate me, you know. But I mean, it's kind of a me thing too, you know, because I was watching this video the other day where it was saying like, yeah, but you can't expect to be social. You can't expect to be social. You can't expect to be social when my bad, my children busting her.
No, you're
You
good.
can't expect you can't expect to be social when like you're not open to it. So the kind of person I am is like I'll come in I'll come into a situation where it's like I already think the worst of people. Where it's like I don't want to talk to people, or like I feel like oh I'm uncomfortable as soon as I walk in, and that makes it hard to talk to people when you do that.
Hmm.
So it's a me thing too, but I do think it's more so the other person than me. Not to say that I'm not being accountable, but like half the time, literally, it's about just an understanding of intelligence or different outlooks on life. You feel me? Because like I'm pretty sure you have this problem too, where I look at shit a certain way, and then like if another person, like if the person that I'm trying to get along with doesn't look at it this way, it's certain shit that is like doesn't matter. Like we can agree to disagree, and then it's certain shit that's like okay, you don't really agree with this, so I can't really, you feel me? I
Yeah.
can't really deal with you.
Yeah.
So I have that problem a lot too because you know a lot of people, you know, speaking of my kids, a lot of women don't like kids, you know, and to me, my kids are like the biggest thing in my life. You feel me? So how I am is really I have no time to date. The father, you feel me? Dating is something that's like literally a waste of time when you have children.
Honestly, I'm glad that you feel me. You on that like how do I say it? What's the word for not ascending, but like just you feel me. You just woke on that on a different level. You feel me? Like your priorities are different, so that's very good. But
Well, it just depends on what niggas want to prioritize. Because we have a lot of friends who they prioritize their children and like you know they prioritize the relationships and shit. Like we have good influences, and like I prioritize in general like the same thing, like my family and who I want to be in my family. You know, so like dating doesn't really fit into that. You know, because like I've already dated and found somebody who I feel like needs to be in my life. You know,
mhm.
and so like that's something I've already did. I've been there, done that, and I already finished that mission. It's kind of like you played a mission in a campaign on a game. You're not gonna go back and redo it on higher difficulty. Why? I already finished it.
Yeah,
I
you
think I was
know what
like, you know,
happened.
like
No need to just make everything harder for yourself. What are some failed talking stages for you that occurred in the midst
ooh.
of you know before you came to this conclusion or
All right,
pinpoint?
this is my biggest failed talking symphony. Like, basically, when I was fresh out of a long term relationship, I was like really down and like just emotionally everywhere, and jumped into like a relationship, you know, and like it wasn't a it wasn't like a relationship where I'm like, oh, this is my female, da da da, but like she kind of looked at me like her boyfriend, and I just come to let her. You feel me? Because I needed some kind of some kind of emotional coddling. You feel me?
Emotional
And like
coddling.
this is why that's bad though, right? Because after you get emotionally coddled for so
Mm-hmm.
long, and like if you're still doing what you're supposed to do and trying to figure yourself out, like on your own time, when you get to a certain point where you are figuring stuff out and you are learning more about who you want to be and different paths in your mind is being opened, literally that person like starts to feel like dead weight, you know, like baggage. You feel me? Like a reminder of the pain. You feel me? And that was my biggest failed talking stage. Is that I literally had baggage on me that felt like a reminder of my pain. You feel me? Like you were only there because I failed at this, and then I needed to lean on you. And now that I've like elevated my mind to a certain extent, you're still here. You feel me? Like, and then now I have to find a way to like get rid of the weight, even though like it's not to say you're a bad person or anything, but like you're just not what I need in my life. You feel me? Like you helped me at the point I was in my life then, but like now where I'm at, I don't. And it like sounds. I know it sounds bad. I know it does, but like it's just the truth. You know, that's how the world kind of works. People outgrow people. So like, yeah, you helped me get back to where I was. Then I started growing, and you kind of stayed there. You know, so now I'm like out of there. Like I'm somewhere else with it,
Mm-hmm.
way elevated. You feel me? And I was at my biggest target stage. What about you?
Mm, I think my biggest field target stage probably had to be uh, when I used to work at the Dispo, and it was like two different like bartender girls, and like one of them was like she was like 26. I was 20 at the time. I was 20 at the time. She was 26. And then there's another one. She was 22. I was 20. Bro, and like both of them were cool. Like, well, they're both vibing with me. You feel me? We kissed both of them even too. But like, they just low key had this like other main on the side. You feel me? Like I was always a side type shit. So like, a nigga not really used to being a number two option. So like, I had to quickly eject. You know, like that's just not my. Are you laughing? I swear, I heard you laughing.
Good, bro. Because I giggled because you saw like a whore.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It's it's all good, man. It's all in the past. Well,
It's all about taking steps, man.
honestly, but
Continue.
yeah. So like, mind you, one of the girls, I still use their Netflix to this day, bro. That shit guts. Like, mind you, she cool. Like, but like her name Nova, she cool as fuck. Like, we could text right now, and like, you know, she'll talk to me. But like, as far as like relationship wise, like, bro, she looking for like the type of nigga she looking for. She looking for that uh like NBA type nigga. You feel me? Like, and that ain't me. Like, at least not yet. You feel me? I ain't there yet. So like, you feel me? That ain't me. So like, and I know that's what you want. And I can't really be that dude. And I don't want a bitch who's like just after that type shit. And then the other girl, Blue, yeah, she just kind of like cold turkey, just stopped texting a nigga. And like, I already knew what the deal was because she had told me that she had like like a relationship, like she was on and off with type shit. But feel me? Those were probably like the only two bad ones, and I should have known. You feel me? Because I mean, bruh, they're blood tenders. You feel me? Like what? Duh. But at the same time, like I was just a guard working there. I had hella time, so it was just like something to pass the time for me. Honestly, I know that sounds bad, but just that's really what it was.
I
Niggas,
mean, no, it'd
no.
be like that. You know, you security guard in the dispo, end up security guarding some vagina, man. It happens that way, man. You know.
Hey man, nobody was running that bitch down besides the police, and honestly, we not stopping the police. So like, once you come to that understanding, you kind of like just relax a little bit more at the job. Like, mind you, you still have to like. There might be that one dumb nigga who's gonna try to rob that bitch, but like, nigga, what? He gonna get sticks pointed at him so fast and get beat the fuck up, like, cause you feel me? We gonna strip him whatever the fuck he has. Gonna throw his ass out.
But like, I mean, I feel like, man, you know, the talking stages are needed though, because they got you to where you at. And like, we had conversations where I'm like, yeah, he's grown a lot from me in the past year, 2 years. Where you're
Mm.
not the same person mentally, spiritually as you were.
Honestly, I've grown a lot. Uh, honest, something I want to talk about too is lust, cause that's just like my number
I have a
one.
lot to, I know you have a lot to say about that one.
That's my number one right there, boy. I promise. Uh, it's
I
just
mean, what do you want to say about it? Like, let the viewers know, like, what exactly do you mean? What is lust?
lust is okay. First of all, I'll read the definition so motherfuckers can know and understand. Lust, very strong or sexual desire. Oh no, very strong sexual desire. My bad. And then the verb for it is obviously the sexual desire for someone. But basically, it's just when you dig it hard, when you look at shit, you feel me? You like, you lusting over it. Like, you see a girl, you feel me? You're like, oh damn, she bad. You dig it hard. You're like, oh, you lusting over her. You're thinking in your head like about fucking her and shit. Like you having lustful thoughts, and that's led to me and a lot of men to a lot of bad spots, and I've been in those bad spots more times than I'd like to admit, honestly.
Well, let's unpack that. What are some of those bad spots?
So, okay. What do you unpack what exactly, bro? Because it's a lot to unpack, bro. I don't know.
Let's just unpack an example for the viewers.
Okay, all right. So, okay, here's a prime example. There's this girl, right? Dating this girl for X amount of years. We'll say 7 years, 6 years, right? All that can be thrown away because of a few times that you decide that you not satisfied with what you've been blessed with. You feel me? And basically you fuck another bitch. And if you're a person with a good heart or a decent heart at all, you will feel bad. No matter how hard you try to deny it or hide it, you will feel bad. You will feel like shit. You will have to come out clean. And like, you feel me? I've had to done that personally. I have to do that personally. And I felt like I wasn't worthy of being with somebody because of like my lustful desires. And I chose to chase my lustful desires rather than to stay in a committed relationship. That's just prime example number one, honestly.
So like, with that being said, like, you being somebody who like really you considered yourself lustful?
Yes, but I pray to God every day about it, and I try to fight them demons.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like being somebody that you say, I'm not gonna say you as your present self is like that, but somebody like being somebody that say I used to consider myself lustful.
Mm-hmm.
What impacted you, or what happened in your life that just sent you on a different emotional direction? It just sent you on a different emotional trajectory.
Honestly, it sounds cliche, but read my Bible. Just opening up the Bible, and you'd be honestly surprised when you look.
Well, let's unpack that because like when people say opening the Bible, like a lot of people start immediately tuning out, like, oh, he's talking about church. So let's unpack the deeper meaning. We're not really talking about church. Oh yeah, go praise the Lord. We're not preaching that to you. Like yeah, we have faith, but we're not preaching that to you. What did the Lord do for you though? Like what did you emotionally feel? What did He mentally change for you?
So I felt like, I was at a deep dark spot in a corner, almost. You could basically say I was in a corner of sorts, and most of the time when I'm in them situations, especially over the past few years, I'll turn to, you know, smoking or like running or playing sports, but sometimes you don't have those types of outlets, or like sometimes those outlets aren't enough. So I was undergoing a lot of emotional distress, and basically I just opened up my Bible because it was just sitting here, and I haven't opened up the Bible in I don't know how long. It's been not a, I wouldn't say a decade. That's too long, but it's been well over 5 years. It's been a while since I've ever opened up the Bible, and I used to be very diligent in reading the Bible. But like even when I was younger, it was very hard to understand the language. So like when I say like I opened it and I just read and I found what I like. I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Like when I was younger, growing up, there's something like we call devotions, which were like, you read your certain chapters or verses every day, and that was your devotion to the Lord. You're devoting your time to studying His Word, learning about the history. Because literally, it's honestly just a history book, a science book, a math book, all in one. Like it's just all there. Like it's crazy when like you actually read and think and like dive into it. But there's something called Proverbs, and there's, I believe, 31 Proverbs, if I'm not mistaken, 31, 32. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But they match the almost the exact number of days in a month. So like you could essentially do a proverb for each day. And one of the proverbs that like I just came across, like just stood out to me a lot, and just gave me enough power to wanna sit and say, you know what, I'm gonna bow my head, I'm gonna pray, because I was, like I said, I was undergoing a lot of stress and stuff like that. And mind you, certain people be like, oh, you pray, like, oh, that don't do nothing. Like, this dude's praying, what does he think's gonna happen? But like, you'd be surprised what happens when, you know, you're a follower and a believer, and you pray to our God and the things that will happen. Cause I found a few words. I'm gonna just read one of them. I'm not gonna go too in depth on it, but it's best speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. That was Proverbs 23:9, and like I don't, I don't really talk often, And the reason being I don't talk often is because not everybody values like my words, you know. And I say my words for those who value it. And like, there's a lot of people in this world who are like very foolish. You run into them every day. You're gonna run into them at the grocery store, at the fucking laundromat, the fast food joint. They everywhere. And these same people that's like ignorant, stupid, they're fools. Literally, the Bible speaks about fools a lot. They do not open their ears to understanding. They don't open their ears to learning. They don't open their hearts to understanding. They don't open, you feel me? Their mind. And for that, they're just closed minded. And like, when I basically reading these words, right, and praying, I was able to come to a peace of mind, understanding that, like, one, I'm very different than the rest of the world. Two, there's people like me who are very different from the rest of the world. And those people will help me. And what I mean by that is, you know, like, I'm sitting here, Biggie's the perfect example. We can sit here and talk about damn near anything. And we'll just come to an understanding, or we don't even have to solve the issue. But the fact that we talked about something, you know, helps out a lot. And as some people, you know, it can be overlooked as like, oh, whatever. But I see that as a blessing, you know, the fact that I have somebody like this to talk to that's actually going to give me knowledgeable feedback and listen to me. You know, not everybody has somebody like that. Some people actually wish they had something like that, you know? So, like, it's really all about perspective, especially when you put your faith in things. So, like, I'm not trying to force faith on nobody, but I would highly suggest, if anybody in here was curious, to read the book of John. You feel me? Go to chapter 3, verse 16. Read that. And yeah, just do me a favor, do that if you are interested. But I'll let you take the floor, my bad.
So tying that into, you feel me, the original topic, you would say to a sense that some of the things that you found in the Lord, and like some of the things that He gave you a different outlook on, and like put your mind into a different place, was able to change your outlook and put your mind in a different zone than always on your list.
Essentially, he, by studying the word, I'm able to put literally tunnel my vision on other things. And, you know, before going to sleep, you know, praying has become a natural routine now. Like, before, you know, there's like an old myth is like, oh, you need to bust a nut, you know, to go to sleep fast or whatever. And like, now, because I was dealing with like not being able to sleep, now all I do is pray. And literally, it sounds weird, but like, the Lord's my melatonin. Like, I just be going to sleep, and I be having good sleep too.
It's actually, it's actually thoughtful because like if you want to keep it all the way to 1,000, there's not a lot of people just gonna get on a public platform and tell people what their demons are. You feel me? Or, like what's really affected them in day-to-day life. You know, so I can respect you. I can really respect you for that. I respected you, but you feel me? I can
Mm.
really commend you for that because not a lot of people are gonna say like, hey, you know, I was dealing with a whole lot of lust in my life. You feel me? Like I had to admit that at a point in myself too. Like where I was like, okay, like it's not that I didn't love a person. It's that just my demons on my shoulders wouldn't let me be satisfied with what I had. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? So it's still, you know, I could really respect that you were really going depth on that. You feel me? I don't want to spend too much time on that subject because we can talk about that all day. We can go
Yeah,
ahead and
I
move on to
know.
that next topic.
I'm ready now. But yeah, we could talk about um how a lot more people, especially in the world, begun to get more complacent. not
Hmm.
only that, a lot of people are oblivious to like, bro, shit that's going on in real time. Like, bro, we about to go to war, and like everybody's just too worried about like, oh, the certain prices are rising and shit like that, but not looking towards what's making what rise. And if we're paying attention to like, you know, any type of fucking space news, there's been a numerous amount of UFOs, or they're not even called UFOs anymore. They call it U UAs, or hold on, unidentified aerial phenomena. So UAs or whatever. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, like, and you would think that'd get a lot more traction, you know? Like, oh shit, it's aliens. Oh shit, nope. Like, there's so much going on in this world that like kind of hurts us. And you know, I'm guilty of a big majority of it because fucking, video games plays a part in that, and also sports. Like, sports takes up a lot of all America's time. You know, it's like the pastime for a lot of people when they're just off of work at home, or like people watch highlights to talk about stuff, but they're not watching the news or the news clips of what's happening or what's going on. Like, it's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on when you actually look at the news, especially not even just in America, just around the world. But my main thing is I feel like we should herd these sheep into focusing on America first, because we too damn worried about every other country that our own country is looking going to shit.
I touch on the complacent topic first. Like, um, I mean, what do you think most people grow complacent with? Because I just think it's like a sense of
Um, Complacency. Can you hear me? Hello? Having slight technical difficulties. Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, stream. Hello, hello. Bro, for real, my password was. Where she's at? Sorry, man.
Why is Hollywood trying to hide this new movie from the public? Nefarious is one of the most popular films of 2023 and a 96% audience score with 500 verified ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. And critics
I
love it.
sincerely hope she filled that
In
gap.
fact,
No, I'm
reviews
sorry,
are
bro.
giving it
I was like, kind of, sort of, but like, I didn't want to start talking without you listening, type shit, type shit, type shit. But I wanted to say the definition of complacency was a feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. So basically, like, you have a higher ceiling, like you have a lot of potential, but you sell yourself short. That's like if LeBron, knowing Like in his prime, he can go out there and score 40. He just went out there and scored 4 points and got a few rebounds and just collected a bag for his name. Like that'd be complacency. But I think a lot of people just don't have the will anymore, bro. Like, I feel like back in the days, medieval times, there's like more will to go out there and, you know, hunt and gather, because if you didn't, for me, you just weren't eating. But it's crazy though. Very, very crazy. I'm about to put on some YouTube videos.
I feel better. Let me get
The way they acted. Hit YouTube showing YouTube. I'm crying. Here, look. Finna end this podcast on this topic.
Could we have been somebody else? You're taking a right turn instead of a left. Or if we're taking the place with a hot tub. Or the one.
And get that opening pick that you need. But Pelican drains it back. He does find Lastro on the high ground, and Babel just being able to support Dante through this high ground is incredibly crucial for them. But that bubble and Outlaws rotating towards this point kind of give them the edge, and they'll take that point first.
Yeah, I mean, you want to.
Today we're talking about a serious topic that I'm shocked hasn't become a bigger story. Right now the only YouTuber that's covered it is Some Ordinary Gamers, Mudahar. Shout out to Mudahar, he's a sweet, special little angel, a butterfly with a heart of gold. And he's been talking about this story, or talked about it yesterday, and it's been
When in
ongoing
doubt,
for
throw
a
Charlie
little
on
while
the screen.
now. It involves a beloved YouTuber that I was personally a fan of, even made a video on him a long time ago, and a YouTuber that I'm sure many of you have probably heard of before. Feature Man. His channel used to have nearly 450,000 subscribers, but he's been losing a good handful of them now due to the story that's come out. And he's also deleted a ton of his videos. He's purged his whole channel, burnt down his own library of Alexandria here, so a lot of his biggest content no longer exists, but you probably remember him from going viral a few times for how to eat a watermelon, for example, where he kind of became this wacky watermelon old guy. He really broke the magician's code with that video. He opened everyone's third eye to the truth, optimal way of attacking a watermelon and consuming it. And his whole channel had always existed in this limbo, this fabric between dimensions, between realms of, is it satirical or is this guy serious? He's an older gentleman, and people are wondering, is he geriatric, is he senile? Because his recipes, and that was the main bulk of his content, was like goofy recipes, were always unhinged. Like digging out a hole in a watermelon and dumping fucking onion powder and a shoelace in it, and being like, yep, this is a good watermelon recipe. Or a fucking pack of Vienna sausages and then putting mustard on it and then slamming it between 5 pieces of bread and then putting sprinkles. Like all kinds of crazy shit, really. And for a long time he cultivated an audience where they were laughing along with him. But now nobody's laughing after a series of investigations conducted by the community revealed a very fucked up past. It turns out he's not some innocent, wholesome octogenarian just posting YouTube videos and he's a good saint or anything. He's actually just evil. He, in the past, was facing 3 consecutive life in prison charges due to infamous crimes against nature for his sexual contact with minors. And after this information came to light, Featureman himself even posted a video, which he has now deleted, where he kind of tackled all of it head on while tiptoeing around the actual specifics of the case. I'll play some clips from that for you real quick.
You know, see, Marshawn, you can't see, bro, but I actually have a moist critical video covering up this gap right now.
It's knowing what I know now about this man, I can't even listen to him without getting the heebie-jeebies. The way he's talking here sounds like Palpatine when he's going over the Darth Plagueis the Wise story to Anakin. Many abilities deemed unnatural. Like, it's fucking terrifying, especially given what he has done. So, this is him kind of laying out the foundation that he received these 3 life in prison charges, and he maintains that it was a complete corrupt law. This infamous crimes against nature law for which he was tried and found guilty of was a whole bunch of baloney. It was all fucking dirty barnacles and foul play. The supposed...
I'm sorry, streamer. We will never know what happens. It's been a solid first test round. I'm not gonna lie. I'll catch y'all later, either in an hour or several. We'll see.